Well, good afternoon. I wonder why everybody's still here. It's so late in the afternoon. Okay, so just a couple of comments. Got to build the suspense a little bit here at the closing ceremonies. A couple of thank yous to talk about, and then we'll get on to some important announcements. So this is not the beginning of the end, but it is the end of the beginning. The beginning of a new way of working with small businesses in the space ecosystem from the Space and Missile Systems Center and many of our most important mission partners across the federal government. And frankly, what a beginning it's been. It's been a whirlwind couple of days here, jam-packed with amazing opportunities for partnership, for innovation, for collaboration amongst mission partners and small businesses, for small businesses and investors, for a number of us with the media and some very important people that were here throughout these couple of days. Before I go any further, a very special thank you to Vinod Khosla, who was here for the last panel of the day. Really appreciate him joining us. I shook his hand behind stage and I said, I'm sorry, I wish I could have been on the front row, but I needed to make sure that this next presentation is right, so I listened from behind the stage. We had 10 different public panels that went on over the last couple of days, 64 vendor booths, a number of inspiring keynote speakers, and we got to hear in the panel sessions, the private panel sessions, 30 game-changing pitches from some amazingly innovative companies across the space domain. Things like this don't happen on their own, right? We had a whole bunch of people. This represented a significant investment in time and resources from the Space and Missile Systems Center and our mission partners, and there's just a few folks I'd like to thank. First of all, although he could not stay for the end of the day today because of some pressing engagements tomorrow, Dr. Will Roper, our Service Acquisition Executive, the Assistant Secretary for Acquisition Technology and Logistics, he was here yesterday a couple of times on stage. And yes, I can say this since he's gone, he is that enthusiastic all the time. And so many of us feel very blessed to work with such an innovative and enthusiastic mind day in and day out. Someone else who was here throughout the event but couldn't stay until this very last session was Lieutenant General D.T. Thompson, who is the Vice Commander of Air Force Space Command Forward. So he sits in the Pentagon day in and day out. Because we are both 3 stars and we are both named Thompson, we are both from Pittsburgh. We were both in the same squadron at the Air Force Academy many, many years ago. The people in the Pentagon simply refer to him as East Coast Thompson and me as West Coast Thompson. But he is my brother and a truly amazing individual. I know he's still here. He's not on the front row, but Brigadier General Wolf Davidson, the Vice Commander of 14th Air Force. Wolf, wherever you are and listening, thanks very much for being here with your combat development divisions, all of your folks. Thanks for your strong message to us and our adversaries that you delivered this morning. If you were here for that, you know what I'm talking about. We're really committed to working very closely with our operation. The acquisition community is very committed to working very closely with our operational partners as we go forward. On the Space and Missile Systems side of the house, there's just one person. There's a bunch of people I'm going to thank, but there's one person I want to bring to the stage. Lieutenant Colonel Rock McMillan, where are you? Get up here. You got to move faster than that, all right? Okay, Rock. So just stand over here for just a second while I brag on you. So 3-star generals are old, right? In fact, I have a friend of mine, former boss of mine, who says that 3-star generals and 4-star generals, they're really just all circling the drain because they won't be around a lot, especially in strategic things, to see a strategic vision actually come to fruition. But people at the lieutenant colonel level and below in our Air Force get to see things, get to work on things, and then get to take advantage of them later on in their careers. They have a lot of runway left. And this event, every aspect of it, would not have been as successful as it was without this young man right here. So, Rock, thank you very much for your personal work. Some key members of Rock's team, Major Ryan Pennington, Captain T.C. McNitt, Captain Tiffany Lowe, Captain Craig Helsper, and Second Lieutenant Andrew Chaidez, and so many more other folks. Basically, any junior officer you saw walking around here over the last couple of days either worked for Rock or worked for Brigadier General Davidson in some capacity. We had that many fantastic folks here stepping up in a big way to make this a huge success. Some really important other people in our enterprise. In order to award contracts like this, in order to do it on the scale that we're doing, we had to have a lot of help from our contracting team, our legal team, and our finance team at SMC. So our head of contracting is Mr. Troy Gunter. I don't know if Troy was able to remain here. He had to take off. But Mr. Ron Ortiz and Ms. Veronica Reynoso here in the front row were just absolutely instrumental in this whole process in terms of executing a source selection that was rapid, fair, and of a scale and nature of something that I just hadn't seen before. So anybody who tells you that, well, you know, government contracting officers just don't know how to think out of the box and don't know how to do things rapidly, you now know different because these two on the front row and all of their support that they had while they were here know how to do that. Although I cannot believe what I'm about to do, I'm about to thank two lawyers in public. Bob Borich and Malcolm Langlois. I don't know if Bob and Malcolm are here. They're probably, they're there in the back of the room. Malcolm and Bob, take a bow. Just fantastic legal support. You know, how can we get to yes? How do we do this properly? How do we not get in trouble? But how do we fulfill Dr. Roper and mine and several other people's visions for this event? And then finally, probably the rock star of all rock stars here, the coolest guy in the room, Aaron Schlom. Are you here, Aaron? Are you still here? Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Aaron is from my finance office, and Aaron was personally responsible for swiping a government credit card. Well, I'll tell you here in a minute how many times he swiped one, or swiped it for this event. But he swiped it to the tune of $1.5 million in about 36 hours. So. I'm pretty sure U.S. Bank is looking for you, right? At least their fraud department might be like, who is this guy and why did he spend so much money on credit card here over the last few hours? A huge thanks to our event planning partners, the folks from Starburst that you got to see here on the stage throughout were absolutely fantastic. The folks from Strategic Results that helped us pull this together were really professional, and they made this venue what it was. And speaking of the venue, it would be remiss to not mention that the Hilton Union Square and their staff really supported us well over the last couple days. So a thanks to all those people. And finally, I will not name them by name. In fact, I probably shouldn't name them by name, but we had a number of panel members that sat and listened to 30 different closed-door pitches here. They listened to the pitch, then they asked questions of the companies that presented, and then after the question and answer session was over, they deliberated with all of us, not only on whether we should award a Phase 2 SBIR, but whether we would give the presenting companies an opportunity to perhaps earn more than the $750,000 and get a plus up to 1.5 or a plus up to $3 million as part of their presentation based on how good it was. So in the opening ceremonies yesterday and throughout these last couple days, Dr. Roper and I talked about how we're really anxious to form strategic partners with the small business space enterprise, with teams from this ecosystem. We're looking to make strategic investments in things that we find particularly innovative and interesting for our nation's space enterprise, and we got that in spades over the last couple days. So just as kind of a summary here for everybody, based on phase 1 SBIRS programs underway, 75 companies were invited to submit proposals for Air Force Space Pitch Day. We got 51 proposals, and we had a team, a very good team of technical evaluators go through those 51 proposals and select 30 to come here to Space Pitch Day and make a presentation to us. All of these companies really had amazing enterprise-focused, highly capable solutions. All of them were awardable. Yesterday, Dr. Roper and I had the opportunity to sit on this stage to highlight the companies that were successful in securing initial investments of $750,000 from the United States Air Force. There were 12 of them yesterday, and today we're going to add 18 more. So next chart, please. So those are the 12 companies that we highlighted from the stage yesterday that qualified for $750,000 awards. And then next chart, please. Here are the 18 companies that we have elected to make $750,000 awards to today. For those of you keeping track, that's 30 for 30 for on-the-spot awards of $750,000 for a grand total of $22.5 million in 2 days. So congratulations to all of these awardees. But after all the pitches and after all the pitches were done, the panel members debated which capabilities would provide the most benefit to the warfighters, which technology could really make a large impact, and how much faster could we get that capability in the hands of our operators if we selected those companies for additional investments. So today, we've selected 7 companies for the opportunity to obtain an additional investment of up to $1.5 million, so double the $750,000. And we've selected 8 companies for the opportunity to obtain additional investment of up to $3 million. However, I have to point out, as we're about ready to announce the 7 and announce the 8, that even if your company or a company you're familiar with was not selected as either in the 7 or the 8 for the up to 1.5 or up to $3 million, there's still an opportunity for those companies as they execute their $750,000 projects for them to attain additional investment in the future based on the results achieved. So I don't want anybody to walk away thinking that, okay, well, 750 and that's all there is. Even if you and your company only got 750, there is still an opportunity for you to compete for more dollars in the future, and that's the beauty of the SBIRS process. For our $1.5 million investment opportunities, I hope to hear some very loud cheers when I say these next 3 words. Next chart, please. Okay, so here are companies that we've selected for $1.5 million. Aptima, Chandra, Stratagem, Virtualytics, Launcher Inc., New Systems, and Orbital Microsystems. Congratulations. The contracting team will inform you how you can compete for up to $1.5 million. We'll inform you very quickly, and then you'll have about 2 weeks to get us a more formal proposal. In fact, I think you'll have exactly 2 weeks to get us a more formal proposal for that additional award money. Okay, so now on to the big event, if you will. So I'm not going to say anything like you must be present to win, right? But these folks, or the folks on the previous chart, were our outstanding pitch partners. This group of 8 that I'm about to announce are our prestigious pitch partners. I will probably get some funny looks, though, if I go to the center of the stage and you don't have some representatives in the office or in the audience that would like to come up and have their picture taken. But it's okay. If you don't want to come up, you don't have to. I'll stand up here, look like a fool for a minute, wave to the audience, and then we'll move on to the next. In any case, I want to make sure everybody can celebrate and take advantage of this special opportunity for recognition, because the pitches we received from this group of people this group of companies, small businesses, were particularly outstanding. So I'm going to ask the proffer to bring me one at a time, and we'll throw a chart up on the deck. So our first award for up to $3 million, our first opportunity for an award of up to $3 million, goes to, next chart please, Analytical Space. This is for their proposal of a data transport satellite constellation for existing DoD customers. Gentlemen, over here, please. Congratulations. We're going to get the glasses off. That would be bad. All right, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, next up. Chart, please. Arete Associates. For their optical sensor and processing system to identify small orbital space debris. Fantastic. Thanks very much. All right, congratulations. By the time we get to the 8th one here, I'll have finally figured out the logistics of how to do this properly. Okay, next chart, please. Lucid Circuit, for their proposal to develop an affordable AI microchip enabling onboard machine learning and signal processing. Anybody here from Lucid? Okay, that's right. Here, Van. All right, drum roll, please. Let's do a drum roll on this one. Next chart, please. For their proposal to develop an optical daytime tracking capability for 24/7 custody of on-orbit assets, Numerica. That's all right, I got it. Congratulations, my friend. Well done, well done. All right, another drum roll, please. For their proposal to apply machine learning to increased automation of space situational awareness sensor calibration. Next chart, please. Omitron. All right, well done, guys. Congrats, you got that. All right, drum roll, please. The next company selected for the opportunity to get up to a $3 million opportunity or award, Rocor. Next chart. Are they here? No, they're working. Okay, so Rocor is a compact, lightweight, deployable composite antenna that works across multiple frequency ranges. All right, congratulations to them. We will make sure they get their certificate. Is this the last one? Two more. Two more, okay. Next up, drum roll please. Ladies and gentlemen, for their proposal of a novel Lasercom crosslink terminal, next chart please, Space Micro. All right, not here, working. Okay, and finally, right? Finally. Final drum roll, please. For their proposal to simplify operator workflows and increase development and validation of an on-orbit ConOps and tactics, techniques, and procedures, next chart, please, Synaptech. All right, we will make sure that everybody gets notification of what their opportunity is, along with a hearty congratulations for presenting some fantastic pitches. As I mentioned earlier, we had selection criteria that had to do with enhanced capability, that had to do with speed to get it to the warfighter, that had to do with how important and how many different kinds of missions that the proposals could, or the pitches could address. And so we're really looking forward to working with all 30 of our awards as we go forward. And we're looking to do more of this type of engagement in the future. It is absolutely essential to our nation that we figure out something different than the industrial age model of space acquisition. For us to remain competitive with our adversaries, for us to remain the top dog, the most capable space nation on the planet, then we have to come up with different ways of doing it. This is just one initiative of many that the United States Air Force is looking to do to take advantage of this kind of commercial space ecosystem that exists and innovative small businesses that are out there. Thank you all for your participation, regardless of whether you're a small business, an investor, an operator, an acquisition person, a technologist, or whatever. Thanks for your participation, and safe travels home. Have a great day, everybody.